Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Tulasi.
Hi,
There's only
Krishna.
5 people. That means 3 kids.
3 kids, right? What happened? Is it exam time or what is it?
Freezing time.
It's freezing time, huh? It's very
For
cold
sure.
there.
For me, it's
cold a lot.
Yeah, it's cold in here also in India. Only 5 today, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Okay, once we go live, then. So, how are you all?
good.
Good. New Year has started good. How has the New Year beginning been?
Fine.
Fine.
I'm already getting tests in school.
Oh, your exams started? Okay.
We got 1 more kid, at least.
That's what I'm wondering. What is it exactly? Exam times or what is it?
Well, for me, it's like exam time because like there's a lot of tests.
There's a lot of tests coming up for me, but not now.
I have them now.
How many of you are reading the Back to Godhead?
I'm reading like a few articles.
Do you like it?
Some of them are interesting and some of them are not.
Okay. What do you find interesting?
Like I sometimes don't know some things and then I figured it out. Like I learned something.
So sometimes there's a lot of philosophy and then sometimes there is experiences which are shared by the other devotees, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes the philosophy ones kind of confuse me.
It confuses? Okay.
Yeah, a few times.
Then what do you do? If you get confused?
I just search the words online.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji, like we, for example, get a Back to Godhead book every month from the printing press, the BTG. And
Okay.
my favorite part is the interviews with Srila Prabhupada. That's my favorite. Right. Yeah.
So many of you or all of you have the subscription for the Back to Godhead?
Yes, I just searched them online.
Okay, good. Yeah, you should have it. And like you should just, those copies which you finish reading, you can always keep it in your car. So whenever you're on a move somewhere, it's good to read. It's really a nice read. Okay. I am not getting exactly what's happening today. Why do you have less strength today? Okay. Anyways, what we'll do is we'll start with the screen share. Okay.
Hi, Krishna. This Advait.
Hi, Krishna Advait.
Now we have 12 people.
Oh, breakout room means the Damodar group is still on.
Yeah.
This is Damodar.
Probably.
Okay. Okay, so let's give a minute and then we can start. So how many of you are liking what we are doing as of now in the Govinda class? Samskriti, Ramachandra, Tulsi. Okay. Shreyash, how do you like it?
I like it, Mataji.
You like it? Good.
Yes.
But then are you all getting a chance to read through the Bhagavatam? Right, because see, every week, like how many? Maybe 8 or 9 verses, or max maybe 15 verses are done. So in a week, if you can read that much from the Bhagavatam, in no time you will be like, you'll have that that way, or you'll have that time that how you can start reading the Bhagavatam, and then slowly it will become a routine. Advait, you have to say something.
No, Mataji, I was raising my hand for earlier.
Okay. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start sharing our screen and we'll go ahead. Okay. We all can say our prayers together.
Okay,
Om Jnanatimirandasya
ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः
Vishnupadaya Krishna
Krishna
भूतले
Srimate
श्रीमते
Bhaktivedanta
भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनीति
Namaste Saraswati
Namaste
Devi
नमस्ते
Gauravani
सरस्वते गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी
Jai Jai
देशतारिणे
Krishna
जय
Chaitanya
श्री
Prabhu
चैतन्य
Nityananda
प्रभु
Advaita Srivasadi Gaura
गदाधार श्रीवासादि
Hare Krishna
गौरभक्तवृंद
Hare Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna Hare
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे हरे
Hare Rama Hare
हरे राम
Rama
राम
Rama
राम
Rama
हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare Hare Krishna Mataji Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Tanvik.
Hi Krishna Tanvik. So nice to have you. Okay, wait, let us go. Okay, so what we'll do is, so we have Advait. Hi Krishna Chandrika. Are you joining for the first time, Chandrika? Haribol. You can unmute and answer. Chandrika, you want to unmute? You're on mute. You want to unmute, Chandrika?
My mom's name is Chandrika. My name is Richa.
Richa. Okay, Richa. So did you join us for the first time?
Yes, this is my first time joining.
Srija. Srija. Okay, Srija. Hi, Krishna, Srija. Where are you located, Srija?
I'm located in Maryland. I'm in Maryland.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
And
Hare
I
Krishna
live on
Mataji,
Enfield
this is
Drive.
Subhadra and Giridhari. We joined by, I thought that I accidentally left and then I had to join again.
Okay, welcome, Subhadra Giridhari. Yes, Srija, you were saying something?
I live on Enfield Drive.
Okay, okay. No worries, no worries. So you're from Maryland. Welcome to our group. And then we have Advait, Akshita. Then we have Govind. Where's Govind? Govind, your video is, yeah, Govind's video is on. Where did I miss him? Where did Govind go? Yes, Govind is there. Hi, Krishna Govind. Then we have Rishikesh, Kabir, Mokshit, Prithu. Prithu, can you keep your camera on? I would love to see you. Ramachandra, Tanvik, Samskriti, Shreyash. Shreyash, you also can you keep your video on? Subhadra Giridhari.
Mataji, I'm eating.
You're eating. So should I join you? Can I join you? Okay, whenever you are comfortable, just you can keep your video on, okay? Okay, so welcome everyone. Okay. Did we start with this new verse last time?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll go one at a time. Ramachandra, can you start? Right, Prahlad is also joined.
What do you mean start, Mataji?
You want to recite the verse?
Sure. Dharma projita kaitavo paramo nirmatsaranam satam vedyam vastavam atra vastu sivadam tapatrayon mulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite kim vapare Iswaraha Sadyo hridya varudyate trakritibihi susrubistat
Yeah, then we can have Tulsi Manjari.
Yes, Mataji.
Can you recite the verse?
Yes. Dharma projita kaitavotra paramone matsaranam satam vedyam vastava matravastu shivadam tapata trayon mulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kim Vapairishvara Sadyo Hridyava Rujate Trakrithipir Shushrubis Takshanat. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, then okay. Tanvik, you want to go ahead?
Yes, Mataji. Dharma projita kaitavato atra paramo nirmatsaram satam vedam vasam atta vastu shivadam tapataryo malam Srimad Bhagavate Manamuni Krute Kimvapari Ishvara Sadyo Hrude Avarudde Atra
Tatra Kritibhi.
Kritibi Sushubistat Ansat.
Very good. Okay.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hari Bol. Chandrika? You want to recite the verse, Chandrika?
I have a question.
Yes, Chandrika, go ahead.
Question.
Ah.
I have to tell something to you. I couldn't show my picture because I didn't have enough time to, like, the drawing.
No worries. Whenever
Yeah,
you're
she
done,
can
you can
show
start
it. Mataji, let her show Mataji. She's today.
Yeah, go ahead. Show us, Chandrika. We'll love to see
Show
it.
us.
Where are you, Chandrika? Let me spotlight
I
you.
spotlighted her, but we can't see you.
Yeah, Chandrika, I can not able
She's
to
like
see.
blur.
Yeah, it is blurred.
That's the background.
Her video's not on.
Her video is on, but I can't see her. It shows that her video is on.
Yeah,
Mataji,
Mataji, I
it's on.
spotlighted. It is just nothing is there.
Wait, let me see her like this.
Oh.
Where is Chandrika? Yeah, Chandrika's video is on and we have spotlighted her.
Chandrika.
Why is she not getting spotlighted?
Mataji, I spotlighted her. Mataji, we all.
Mataji, what's going on?
I can only see the person who's speaking.
We can see Mataji.
Okay.
Mataji, what's going on right now?
We've
Very
started
nice.
our class, Suraj,
Okay.
and
You
we're
can
just
post it in the Damodar group. Okay. Very
Can you take a screenshot and send it in the group, Chandrika?
Look, I think I have to.
Yeah, take a photo and then you can send it in the group, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Shreya,
But
you
I
want to say
don't know
something?
where to. Oh, I know.
Okay. Shreya, you want to say something? Shreya, you have
Mataji,
raised your hand.
that was an accident.
Sorry?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. So,
Mataji, can I show something, Mataji?
yes, Tanvik.
Mataji, yeah, after Tanvik shows his thing, could I recite the shloka?
Yes, you can. Very nice, Tanvik. So, this you've done the drawing, is it?
Yes, my mom did the drawing. I wrote, these are all the names of the monkeys.
Wow. Can you share it in the group?
Yes, Mataji. This
Very
is
nice.
Hanuman, he says Jai Shri Ram. And this is Angad, he says Jai. And then Jambavan says Jai Ram. That's what.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Mataji, is this a
Suraj, can
bonus
you read the
activity?
translation for us, Suraj?
Okay, because Mataji, I was just asking if this was a Govinda's class activity that we have to draw Gandhiji's three monkeys.
No, no, no. It's not Gandhiji's three monkeys. It is, I think Tanvik has just drawn on his own. But last week in the Govinda group also, you had to have some drawing activity, right? I hope you have done it. Have you posted it?
Mataji, what was the drawing activity? I think I
Okay.
forgot.
Okay, we'll get back to it. Okay. Vindhya Gandharika Mataji will tell you about it in detail.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to read the translation?
Okay, completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated, this Bhagavata Purana propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality, distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively, submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge the Supreme Lord is established within his heart.
Very good. Akshita, you've raised your hand. Akshita?
Wait, yeah, Mataji, I just raised my hand to read.
Okay, okay. So what we'll do is we'll move ahead. So we are on the 15th chapter. Okay. Let me see who is on. Okay. So we are on the 15th chapter and now we are currently on verse number 21. Okay. So now as Arjuna is remembering, what was the background till what we have done is that Arjuna has been remembering the Lord and he's remembering all the instances, all the ways and means by which he has understood that the Lord has been helping him, right? And the Lord has been for him every time whenever he needed him. And now he is very sad because the Lord has left this material world and his existence, or he cannot find him in he cannot see him anywhere. So now Arjuna has been remembering for all these verses. He's been remembering different instances how the Lord has been helping the Pandavas, helping him, right? Akshita, can you read this?
Yes, Mataji. I have the very same Gandiva?
Gandiva bow, yes.
Gandiva bow, the same arrows, the same chariot drawn by the same horses, and I use them as the same Arjuna, whom all the kings offered their due respects. But in the absence of Lord Krishna, all of them, at a moment's notice, have become null and void. It is exactly like offering clarified butter on ashes, accumulating money with a magic wand, or sowing seeds on a barren land.
Thank you so much, Akshita. So what's explained over here is that now Arjuna, see, when he is explaining himself, like how the emptiness which he is feeling, or the missing of the Lord in his life which is feeling, he's comparing it to different things. Okay, we'll see what he's comparing to. So now what he says, everything is the same. Hi Krishna, Atharva. So he says that everything is the same, that it's the same me, it's my same chariot, it's my same horses, and all these were also there when the Lord was there, or when the Lord was there along with me. So everything was the same, my Gandiva bow, my chariot, my same horses, and I'm also the same. And in whose, like, when Lord Krishna was there, like, the respects which I had, everything is the same, but still I feel something is void, still I feel something is missing. Okay, have you ever felt that in your in our day-to-day life? Do you ever feel that something somewhere is missing? Sometimes it happens, at least with me. How many of you have felt, or any other way that you have felt it? Yes, Samskriti?
Like one time, like in school, we have this thing called a folder that you need to bring every day. And then one time I thought I had my folder in my backpack, and then I went to school and I recognized I didn't have it. So I knew I was missing something, but I didn't know what it was.
So you had your phone with you?
I didn't. I left it at
Okay, you
home.
didn't have your phone.
Yeah.
Okay, so you felt that was missing. Okay. Nice. Like, at least you can relate it with something. Anybody else wants to share? Anything which we feel that, yes, this is there. Yes, Tulasi, Akshita, Shreyash, very nice. Yes, Shreyash?
One day at school, I was on a test and I felt something was missing. So
Okay.
once like the retest came out, I saw what was missing.
What was it?
I forgot to carry the one.
Okay. Atharva?
Mataji,
Yes?
can I say something?
Yeah, we'll just have Atharva now and then I'll get back to you. Is it okay?
Okay.
Yeah, Atharva.
No, do I need to read the?
No, I'm asking you a question, that just like how Arjuna is missing the Lord, and he feels that something is missing, something is void without the presence of the Lord. So have you ever felt, with any respect, with no anything with respect to anything, that yes, something is missing today? No? Okay, no worries. Tanvik?
Mataji.
Hmm?
So on term one of prep, I had so it was actually Harmony Day, and I had to get the money to get a gold stick, but I forgot to ask my mom to get a gold stick, so I could not actually get the gold stick.
Oh, so that was missing. Okay.
Mataji, I think I have one.
Okay.
Subhadra.
Oh, you have. Yes. We'll just complete it. Advait. Advait wanted to say something, and then we'll come to you. Okay, Subhadra? Yes, Advait.
I wanted to say something similar to Shreya's. It's like for me on a test one time, what happened was that so our teacher says that if you don't get a question, skip it and go back to it. So at the end of the test, I felt like there was something missing, but I didn't. And when I submitted the test and the results came back, it says that I got 90% because I missed one question. Like I didn't get it wrong. I like totally like forgot about it.
Okay.
Mataji,
Yes.
can I say something?
Who is this?
Mataji.
Subhadra.
Lots of questions.
Okay, Subhadra Giridhari is going to say something, and then we'll come back to questions.
Okay,
Yes,
Mataji, can I show? So Mataji, so when I went to school, I think like when Mataji, can I show? So when it was the second day of school, I think it might be the 55th day of school. I like the teacher forgot to ask me that if we could present our like if we can show our things that we brought for today. But well, Miss.
Okay.
Mataji, like my teacher was about to share, but we didn't have time.
Okay.
Was it
Very
just
nice,
me?
Subhadra. Very nice drawing. You see, you know what? Your artwork, whatever you have done, please share it in the group. It's really nice to see them.
Mataji, this is actually my brother's.
Very nice, Giridhari. Very nice.
Actually,
Okay.
my brother drawed it.
Very nice. That's very nicely done. So now, see, with respect to what we are doing over
Wait,
here.
Mataji, can I say?
Yeah, who is it, Akshita?
Yeah.
Yeah, Akshita, go ahead.
Okay, so usually I do this I did this also last week. So when I was going to school, when I was like getting ready to go to school, I was actually kind of in a rush. So I do band, so I play the flute. So
Very nice.
so I play the American flute. So I was like, okay, I need to pack my bag. I need to put whatever I need to put in. And then and then I'm like, did I forget anything? And then I'm like, I don't think so. But I actually forgot. And then I forget my flute. And then I realized that at school that I forget my flute. And then I miss, and then I can't really do anything if I don't.
I know that really is bad. Chandrika, you have something to share?
I actually don't have anything to share, but can I leave? It's actually 7:30 p. It's 7:43 p.m. for me. It's almost time for me to go to sleep. I have to eat my dinner right now.
Okay, you know, if you want, you can go off the video and sit and eat if you want so. Okay, see whatever suits you, Chandrika. See whatever is easy for you. Okay, if you want to keep your video off and then have your dinner, that's also okay with us. See whatever is easy for you.
But can I like exit the call?
Okay, if you feel so. Okay, if it's late for you, you can decide. Okay.
Okay.
We would love to have you on calls, but see whatever is your schedule. Okay, so now see over here, as it is said that yeah, see, like now everybody has shared. See, this is what we are looking for, you know, that you have to be more vocal and you have to you should be able to share what things you are doing, okay, or else whatever you are feeling. So, and not necessary everything will be related to. Now see how everybody could share your things, that okay, what you were missing or what was missing in your part of your day, right? So now over here, how many of you feel that if you do not chant in the morning, you feel something is missing in the whole day? Maybe some of you feel, maybe some of you do not, then that's okay. Okay,
I
so
do, Mataji.
right, so if you do not chant in the morning, and then you know that yes, for the whole day I might not get time to do my rounds, then you start feeling that emptiness, then you start feeling that missing point, right? those who are habit of chanting regularly, or if you have, now at least this generation today is so difficult things are, because there are so many things that we are doing, so there's no specific routine. But the earlier generations, when you have your parents or your grandparents, if you go to your grandparents house also, they have a specific routine, that they get up at a specific time, they will sit at one specific place where they will be having their breakfast, and then they will have their specific routine if they are gardening or if they are doing anything. So that routine is always there, and when something is not done in that routine, then they felt that was missing. So over here, Arjuna was so much with Lord Krishna that now he felt that, without Krishna, his life was void, or if his life was something was missing. Now he's explained it in such a way that, see, when there's a fire on, okay, when there's a fire and there is a yajna going on, and then when you put some butter over it, what happens, Raya Prahlad? When you have a yajna going on and when you put some butter over it, what happens to it?
The fire will become bigger.
Okay. And what will happen to the butter?
The butter will melt
Why will the butter melt?
because the fire is too hot.
Yes. Because of the heat, the fire is going to melt, right? So now when the fire is there, when the butter is there and the heat is there, then the process goes on, and then it is like, okay, the fire is going to be, it's as Raya Prahlad said, it will get bigger and the butter will also melt. On the other hand, if there is a Yajna Kunda wherein everything is being done, now the fire is also gone. And then when you put butter over it and the wood and the all the samida, and it is also cold now, then what will happen if you add butter to it? Mukund?
Mataji, can I say?
Yes, Advait?
Won't it still melt because it's still, the wood is still hot?
No, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. It's not hot. It's all gone. It's maybe
Oh,
2 or
okay,
3
then
days
it won't
past.
melt. I mean, it will
Nothing
melt,
will happen
but it
to
will
it,
take
right?
some.
Nothing will happen.
Nothing will happen to it, right? And
Mataji,
if
it
I
will
give
melt,
you,
but it takes some time.
yes. So he's explained it in 2, 3 ways, that, just like now, just like how when fire was there and when the butter was there, how it's like something is going on happening. But now if there is butter added to this cold yajna also, nothing is going to happen. At the same time, he's also giving example of barren land. See, for a land to give nice crops, or for a flower or for a plant to come up, it needs water at the right time. If the seed is sown and and it does not rain, or there is no water, in spite of that, it will not sprout, or the plant will not grow. So now he feels that, it is as if the land is barren and there is no rain. That means there is no Krishna over here, and that is the reason I feel that this plant will never grow. As well as this plant will never grow, the same way I feel for myself. Now over here, the example which is quoted in the purport is given about the powerhouse, the lighthouse. Okay, the powerhouse which is given. The powerhouse has the capacity that it can give all the lights in the city or in the nearby state can be lighted because of the power can be generated at this lighthouse. Okay, at this powerhouse. But what happens if the power at the main station itself is something goes wrong in the wiring, and there is no power outlet, or there is no power from this powerhouse? What do you think will happen?
Mataji, a blackout.
A blackout, right? That means none of the houses, none of the city, the town, the village, none of them will get the light. So
Mataji, they won't get electricity and they won't see light.
yes. So it is like Krishna is the source of all the power, and in his absence, it is like a blackout in his life. Okay. So see, such wonderful examples are given over here in order to explain what was the importance of Krishna in Arjuna's life. Okay. Then we have Karthik. Can you read this for us, please?
Since you have asked me about our friends and relatives in the city of Dwarka, I will inform you that all of them were cursed by Brahmanas and fought among themselves with sticks, not even recognized one another. Now all but 4 or 5 of them are dead and gone.
Okay. So now see, when when in the battle of Kurukshetra, what had happened, that Krishna had said that those who are the wrongdoings, those who are not on the righteous path, they will all have to die, right? So when everyone in the Kuru dynasty, everyone who was there in the Kurukshetra war, they had to suffer for whatever ill doings they had done, right? And in this world, when we come, we are about to make mistakes. We are about to go on the wrong path at times. Only in the right guidance can you find the right path. But see, this Yaduvanshis or the Yadu people, the Yadavas who were there, over there also, what had happened was that they knew that, okay, Krishna was on their side. Krishna was their own leader. So they started feeling that, that because Krishna is on my side, then see, when a strong person is on your side and then you are in a group of people, then you start feeling stronger, right? You feel, oh, this strong person is on my side. If anything happens, he's still there to protect me. So because of that feeling, somewhere they started doing all sorts of wrong things. Okay. And then they started all intoxication and insulting each other and doing all sorts of wrong things. And as a result of that, what happened was the Yadu dynasty also, it was on the verge of getting extincted because of the internal fights and whatever they had got into a lot of what you say, all the ill doings, the whatever were going on. Because of that, they were fighting, quarreling among each other. So when Krishna was sorry, when Arjuna was trying to tell, Arjuna was saying in Dwarika also, now people from the Yadu dynasties and the Dwarika Vasis also, now they are also getting intoxicated and they are fighting among each other, and this is all happening in the absence of the Lord. Govind, can you read this for us, please? You want me to help you out?
Mataji, I cannot see it.
Sorry?
I cannot see it.
You cannot see the slide?
No.
None of you can see the slide?
We can see it.
I can see
Mataji, I can see it. I can see it.
Okay, Govind, you will have to ask your mom or dad.
That right came up. It came up.
It came up? Okay, maybe it's the internet connection. Do you want to read this, Govind?
Okay.
Factually?
Oh, factually, this is all
Due to
due to the
supreme will,
the Lord, the
personality of Godhead,
the golden
sometimes
sometimes
people kill one another.
Yes, sometimes people
Kill
one another or
other times,
they
protect one another.
one others.
Very good. Okay. So this is all which is happening. So he was, like Arjuna is explaining all this, that whatever this is happening, whether people are with each other or people are away from each other, this will happen in the material world. Okay. And like when in the next verses he says about how it all happens with the mercy of the Lord, how whatever is happening in this world. Okay. So we have somebody else. Yes, Tulsi, can you read this part?
Yes, Mataji. The surest way to the path of peace, therefore, is dovetailing everything to the established rule of the Lord. The established rule is that whatever we do, whatever we eat, whatever we sacrifice, or whatever we give in charity must be done to the full satisfaction of the Lord. Thank you, Mataji.
Hi Krishna. So see what like Arjuna is just trying to interlink everything now. He's saying that because of power and because of greed, then people have got intoxicated and they're doing the wrong things. And now this is all happening after you remember in the very first part when Yudhishthir had seen all the wrong omens, when he had seen all the bad omens which were happening, and that was only happening because of the absence of the Lord. So now Arjuna is saying that like this all which is happening is sure happening because the Lord has left this material world. But then, if we get into a habit of dovetailing everything to the Lord, see, like whatever we cook, if it is offered to the Lord, not ever, even whatever we cooked, but whatever we are doing in the day to day life, if you're doing something good, if you're doing something bad, right, we try not to do anything bad, but if you're doing anything good, just offer it to the Lord, and that will give you a lot of satisfaction. Okay. And then when it happens, see, like when he was explaining that how the Yadus are killing each other and how they are fighting amongst each other. So then there's an example which is quoted over here. I want someone to read. Ramachandra, can you read this?
Sure, Mataji. O king, as in the ocean, the bigger and stronger aquatics swallow up the smaller and weaker ones, so also the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to lighten the burden of the earth, has engaged your stronger Yadu to kill the weaker, and the bigger Yadu to kill the smaller.
Okay, so in this world, it is always the survival of the fittest was also one of the theory which was explained. Okay, so that tells us that like um in this world, if you look at the science part also, okay, in this part, when we are doing Bhagavatam, you always have to it will always have that you will go more towards the science part. So you might see that sometimes, some trees or some animals totally get extincted from the environment. Have you heard about them? Isn't it? We have heard, right? So, and then like, in our theories, it is explained about survival of the fittest, survival for existence. Have you come across these words? Survival of the fittest, and then survival
Yes,
of the
Mataji.
fittest, and the, yeah,
I
the
think
struggle.
I used
It's
book.
like killer whale to shark to fish.
Yeah. So
Mataji,
then,
I
see,
think there's
like,
even a book.
yes, and see, like, what? See, imagine that in a, in a whole ocean, if there are, if one fish, just have this, imagine this, okay? One fish, um, when a fish lays eggs, there are thousands of eggs which are laid, okay? Imagine each and every egg getting fertilized and becoming into a fish. You getting it? Can you imagine that? And then can you imagine how much, like, will there be any water left, or there will be only fish in the ocean?
What fish?
Right? So this is what, the Lord has this balance for everything. So the Lord, as we say, like with the last week when we were reading about Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, it is said that what we feel is that, yes, I am doing this, I am getting my own dinner ready, I am cooking for myself, I am earning everything. And over there, in that instant, was given about Srila Prabhupada when he was going to the printing press, how he never had his breakfast also. He just wanted to complete his work, so he always went early over there. And it was like he did not care for his breakfast, he did not care for his lunch, but some way or the other, by the mercy of the Lord, his breakfast, his lunch was always arranged over there. Okay, so the same thing here, it is always the Lord's wish. So a very big a good example over here is given up in this poster, okay, in this flyer which is given up. Rishikesh, do you want to read this? What is written in the poster within this?
Yes, Mataji. O king, since
No,
you
no, no,
have
no, no. Inside this poster.
not a blade of glass moves without the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, thus everything is moving under his will. By his will, everything is being created, everything is being maintained, and everything is being annihilated.
annihilated, right? So that is what Arjuna is trying to tell everyone, that by the will of Krishna, he has left the world, and by his will only, whatever we are seeing in this world which is happening now, it is because of the will of Krishna. So, like he said that in this material world we are struggling to live. People are struggling to, people feel that, okay, if I can kill this person, I can take his land and I can lord over this world, I can lord over that land. And the explanation which is given is that these all things which are there are happening only in this material world. What do you think in this spiritual world, where, whether it is in Golok Vrindavan or wherever it is at the Lord's abode, what do you think people will be fighting like this?
No,
Then what
everybody's
why
in
they will be-
peace.
why
They're all
everybody is in
happy.
peace? Any idea why are they in peace?
Because
Krishna's
actually,
there.
because
Okay.
Krishna is there and no one can, and in there's no sadness and no disturbance.
But why that peace? Why that peace?
No
Krishna is
reason to get. There is no reason to get angry and at someone and get sad
But
about.
why?
Because Krishna is in the center and they're serving him and they're
Serving,
doing
that is an
everything just
important point. That's an important point which I was looking for. Because see, Krishna is over here also, because in everybody's heart there is the Lord, right? But when it is in the spiritual world, everybody is doing their best to serve the Lord. Everybody is doing everything only for the Lord. Okay. And that is the reason there is no reason for any disparity. There is no reason for any quarrel, or there is no reason for struggling anything anywhere. Why are we struggling? Because we are trying to please ourselves. Okay. We are trying to make our lives better each and every day, which is not possible no matter how much money you get or how many whatever currency you have. Every time it will fall short. Every time there will be something less from it. But when you're serving the Lord, when you're thinking only about the Lord and his service, then everything will be eternity. Everything will be the best. And Arjuna is just remembering that when I was along with the Lord, these were all the things which I had. These were all the things which went so very nicely. And now in the absence of the Lord, I am missing it. Okay. Atharva, you want to say something? Atharva, Advait, Tulasi?
No, Mataji, I just raised my hand.
Okay. So are you all following what is going on? A little bit theory should also be included into this.
Yes, ma'am.
And stories are definitely there, but then the philosophy part also has to be explained. So we are trying to keep it as short so that you do not lose your interest in it. So there are stories also in it, but the main underlying philosophy also should be not forgotten. Okay. Everybody good with it?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Very nice. So we have another 10 minutes. Let us see if we can start reading.
Hey, Mataji, when is Sanskrit class?
Yeah, Sanskrit class will be there. Maybe next week or maybe the next week after that. I wanted to start a new thing with you all. Should we talk about that or should we read this?
Talk about that.
Anyone?
Okay, you know what I want.
Anyone, Mataji.
Okay. What I wanted to start with you all, maybe next week I might start that. How many of you have heard about debate?
Yes, Mataji.
Samskritiyas have heard about debate.
Yes,
Everybody has heard
Mataji,
about
we
it?
are
Yes,
doing
Mataji,
it in
Akshita
school right now.
Okay, so what is debate exactly?
In Hindi.
Basically arguing over a topic.
Yeah.
Arguing over a topic.
Main.
How many of you love
Yeah.
debate? How many of you like
Arguing.
debate?
Main topic, arguing.
Okay, arguing. Okay. Is it really arguing about it or how can we put it up?
Let's
You're just
just
defending
say
your side.
proving something.
You're just defending your
Proving
side.
something.
Okay.
Proving
Defending yourself,
something.
proving something, defending. Sorry?
We can vote. Like who gets the most? We can
Okay.
vote. Who gets the most? Which one
Okay.
has the most? We can do that.
Okay. So now tell me this debate, how can it be applied with our Krishna consciousness? Does it have any application over here?
Kind of
Kind of, how would it be?
like you could debate against the atheistic people.
Aha, very nice. What else?
You could defense against.
So does that mean that when somebody is arguing with you or when you are having a debate, are you going to get angry on that person?
No, you don't like punch him in the face or anything.
Right?
Mataji, can I say something?
Yes.
A debate means it's your own belief. It's our opinion whether you want this or what. If you
Very
want
good.
that.
It's your own opinion, and which you are trying to prove it to someone, and which you are trying to prove with evidence at times or with proofs, and in a very cool and calm way, you are trying to, you are trying to prove yourself over there to someone. Okay. At the same time, that person will also have his own or her views, and they will also be presenting something. So does that mean that debate is just going on talking something vague, or do you need to really study about it?
Yes.
We really need to study about it, right? Because no, if anybody is going to ask you some question, Mukund, are you paying attention? So if anybody is asking you a question related to that theory, because now see, when you are in the material world, when you are with your school life, you will have topics which are related to your subjects, right? So we are going to use debate in such a way that it can help us in our preaching program. Okay? Because see, when you go to preach or when you go to distribute your books, what happens is that somebody somewhere might ask you some question which you have to answer it to them. Or sometime they might ask you a question which you will need to explain with the help of the Shastric examples. Okay. So now when we are going to have debate, we will have to also quote verses from the Bhagavad Gita. How many of you feel this would be interesting to do?
What?
Like you might have to quote the verses from the Bhagavad Gita. Suppose you are proving your point, existence of God. Okay. Then
I'm just going to the toilet.
okay. Okay. So then you might have to just tell them that, okay, what like Janma Karma Cha Me Divyam. Then you can, so you have to think about which quotes you can quote over it. Okay. So what we will do is we will give a topic to you before. Okay. And then if you feel you want to get ready for it, you can get ready for it. If there is nobody against it, I might stand against it. Okay. Because there is someone for and there is someone against, right? So only so that you have somebody along with you. If you have your own groups, that would be well and good. Otherwise, what we will have, you all can put up yourself and then I can be against it, which will be very hard. It's hard, right? And then let's see how we can continue with it. We can make some improvisations as we go. And then let's see how it can work out. Everybody okay with it? Okay. So
Yes,
for this,
Mataji.
this week we'll share a topic and then you can get prepared for it. If you want to find out some verses which are related to it, you can have them removed so that you can mention them when you are debating. And then let us see how much fun it is. Okay, everyone?
Yes,
Okay.
Mataji.
Okay, so yes, Suraj?
This is Mukund.
Yes, Mukund.
Mataji, I'm going to do something important, so I'll just be listening to the class, but I won't speak.
Yeah, I think we're done with the class, Mukund. So we are just about to end the class. Okay, we'll end the class now.
But for the rest of the class, I'll just keep listening.
Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhayeva
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद
कोटि
की
वैष्णव वृंद
जय
की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरि
जय
बोल। Hare
Hare Bo
Krishna.
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Mataji.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.
Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.